Okay, now let's start with the question. The question states that explain what determines. So this whenever term determine is there, you are supposed to identify and explain the factors that cause the change in. Okay, so might be different factors. We'll have a look at it. Explain the factors that explain what determines the change in equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity of a good when there is a rise in incomes in an economy. Okay, so now this is the question right here. So what we'll do is, what are the determinants for equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity? We know that the determinants for equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity is demand and supply. Due to the forces of demand and supply, you can determine the equilibrium. That's the first thing. Moving forward, what is the requirement of the examiner regarding this question? So first of all, I'll write it here to A. What you need to do is you need to define what is an equilibrium price. Then you need to define what is meant by equilibrium quantity. Equilibrium price definition: the price that is determined through the forces of demand and supply, also known as the market price. Equilibrium quantity is the quantity determined through the forces of demand and supply, the amount consumers and producers are willing and able to buy and sell, which is also known as the market quantity. As soon as you're done with the explanation of these two terms or the definition of these two terms, you'll get the marks for introduction. Then you'll just represent your concept in a more better way by drawing a diagram. This is the demand, downward sloping demand, upward sloping supply, resulting in an equilibrium through which the price, also known as equilibrium price, quantity, also known as market quantity or equilibrium quantity, or the quantity traded, will be determined. Okay, this is how things are going to work. Moving forward, what you're going to do next? It says that when there is a rise in incomes, what will happen to the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity? Definitely it's going to change. But what's the change going to be? Is it going to be an increase or decrease? Let's have a look at it. So now moving forward, first of all, you're going to write down here the term income, also known as Y, right? Now, identifying and explaining the effect of incomes. When there is an increase in incomes, this will result in a rise in the quantity demand, right, of goods and services. When there is a rise in income, this will result in a higher purchasing power of the people. Okay, a higher purchasing power will result in higher spending. Higher spending will result in a higher consumption. Okay, and when there is a rise in consumption, this will result in a rise in demand. Okay, now let's draw another diagram and let's have a look at the changes in equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. I'll draw the two axes right below the income. Okay, the axis of price and the axis of quantity traded, a downward sloping demand and an upward sloping supply, resulting in an equilibrium through which the price, also known as the equilibrium price, and the equilibrium quantity will be determined. Now I'll show the effect in the diagram of an increase in demand, because the incomes have increased. A rise in demand, or you can say a rightward shift from D to D1, showing it with an arrow, will result in the new equilibrium, E1 price from P to P1, also known as the equilibrium price, and a rise in quantity traded from QT to QT1. Okay, is that clear? This is going to
Yes.
be the effect in the diagram. Okay, now sometimes
But
there
that is
can
for
be
the
a
demand
difference.
only, right?
Hold on. Normal goods, in the case of normal goods, this is what is going to be applied. But in case of inferior good, a rise in income will result in a fall in quantity demand because you'll be purchasing superior goods, right? So this will be the case of inferior goods. Just to mention, so that the examiner can't cut your marks, you are just to mention this case. You are not supposed to draw this case. The basic general case is here, which has been drawn. Okay. I hope it's not a problem for you.
Um, yeah,